Very interesting stuff. So Congress has 60 days to pass this, but some congressmen are already trying to stop it. Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Ed Royce says after the deal, the future is bright if you're Iran, not if you're the rest of the world. Congressman, first of all, on this Menendez indictment, do you think it was timed by the Justice Department to prevent him from opposing the Iran deal?
Well, there's one thing that isn't any question, and that was that Bob Menendez was the leader in the Senate in terms of putting the original sanctions on Iran. He was also the most outspoken critic in the Senate of the president's party and or the president's policy here. And frankly, not just on this issue of Iran, but also lifting the embargo on Cuba without getting any human rights agreement out of Cuba in the process. So he was a thorn in the side of the administration. I think the important point right now is to get the facts out on this deal before the American public, because I can tell you this about the deal.
Well, hold on a second. Before we go on to the specifics of the deal, I assume that's a yes, that you think that there was a political intent by the Justice Department in going after Menendez to stop, one, Iran, and two, Cuba.
I can't know the answer to that, but I do know that when this deal came out, the most forceful speech as the agreement began to come together and we learned the details, the most forceful speech on the topic that I heard was from Senator Menendez, going full bore at the agreement before he was sidelined, just before he was sidelined. Very interesting.
Okay, let's talk about the deal itself. Are there enough things about it that you think other Democrats besides Senator Menendez may oppose to carry through a veto of the deal?
Well, here's why I think there might be. 367 members of Congress signed my letter, which directed the president in this agreement to achieve four things that have not been achieved. One was the right for inspectors to go anywhere, anytime, unencumbered. The second was not raising the sanctions and giving us a signing bonus on the front end. The third was actually getting answers to those 12 questions that the IAEA have put to Iran. And the last, of course, was a multiple-decade agreement rather than just 10 years. So we haven't achieved any of those objectives. But there's a second reason why I think a number of members of Congress, besides the 84% that signed that letter, might be concerned. And that is this new development where Iran and Russia demanded the ability of having a separate set of UN sanctions that control the ICBM, the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Program. They demanded that that be lifted so that Russia could share that technology with Iran, with the realization that those could be aimed at the United States. There is some real concern that we've heard in my hearing today on Capitol Hill.
Very interesting. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman, Congressman Ed Royce. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it, sir.
Good to be with you.
Will the